I want to focus in on a specific moment that occurred on the House floor this week when Representative Jasmine Crockett immediately fact-checked Republican Representative Tim Burchett as he claims that Donald Trump's approval rating is soaring across the country. Well, Jasmine Crockett is known for not letting any BS past her, so she quickly reads off a string of headlines that proves not only Donald Trump's approval rating is falling, but it's falling across every single issue, even issues that he should hypothetically be strong on. I mean, he ran on the border. He's underwater there. His immigration rating is even worse because of the insane, reckless, aggressive, illegal deportations. And the economy, which he made a lot of promises about, is not doing too hot, largely due to his tariffs and his incoherent policy. So we'll break all of this down, but before we even jump into this main clip of Jasmine Crockett ripping into Tim Burchett, read this. This post of Marjorie Taylor Greene smacking the gavel went viral, and someone said, "This reminds me of that scene in 2001: A Space Odyssey when the ape discovers they can use a bone to start pounding stuff."
That's not how it works.
Ms. Stansbury, you're not
Madam
recognized.
Chairwoman, that is not how
Ms. Stansbury, you're not recognized.
All day, but that's not how
Ms. Stansbury, you're not
parliamentarians-
recognized.
We're going to get you a Robert's
Ms.
Rules of
Stansbury,
Order
you're
and
not-
that's
I mean, this was the entire week on the House floor. Marjorie Taylor Greene throwing a fit, a bunch of crosstalk. And if you've seen Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, I love older movies. I love Stanley Kubrick and all of his movies. There is a scene where the ape discovers like the primitive ability to sort of use a bone as a tool, and he starts smashing it against a rock. That is exactly what is happening here. All right, I digress. Let's go on to Jasmine Crockett shredding throughout the past few weeks on the House floor. Let's start with this clip of Jasmine Crockett talking about Republicans castrating their constitutional duty. This is from a few months back.
Feels as if y'all have just decided that y'all are going to castrate your constitutional duty and hand it over to someone who is unelected. It doesn't matter how many cheerleaders he had on the fields campaigning for him. That doesn't mean that he gets to go in and sit atop any of our agencies. And the fact that we had a vote today and we asked to bring him in because we have a constitutional duty. We all took our oath, and maybe some of y'all just don't take it seriously. But I take it seriously when I take an oath to do a job, and my job is to look out and make sure that we don't have any kings or queens in this country. But it seems like y'all have decided that it's going to be Mr. King and his queen, and y'all can pick which one is which. But
first of all, she's right. No kings. No kings in this country. We went to the protests. We will relentlessly push back on executive overreach. Make sure you drop a like and join the crew below if you agree. No kings whatsoever. But also, Jasmine Crockett makes a really key point here. And we'll talk about Trump's approval rating in 1 second. But she makes a really key point because what Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are doing is they are ceding power from the people to the executive branch. This is exactly how. When representatives in Congress are elected, and senators, but let's just use representatives as an example, they are represented, or they are elected by a district of people to represent that district of people and vote on their behalf. Obviously, it's very simple, Civics 101. I don't have to explain this. But then, when Donald Trump gets into power and appoints Elon Musk to start making these cuts or finding this fraud unilaterally and shuttering agencies like USAID, that is unconstitutional, of course. Now, when Republican representatives just allow that to happen without pushing back, when they are just toothless and don't fight back, what they are doing is allowing Elon Musk to directly take power away from their constituents. Constituents elect you to vote on their behalf, and when Elon Musk strips away your votes, these conservative representatives might think it's not a big deal, but you were actually removing power from your constituents. That's partially why Donald Trump's approval rating is falling. I mean, between Elon Musk's Doge, between the economy not getting better, actually getting worse. We had GDP contraction this quarter, and apparently might happen next quarter. Between all of that, people are feeling it, and Donald Trump's approval rating is falling. We have to continue to call it out. Watch this clip.
Are going to continue to live through chaos and destruction that has been occurring ever since he swore in January. And I hope y'all remember who caused this, because it wasn't
The
just
gentlelady's time has
it was
expired.
Also the congressional Republicans.
The gentlelady's
who don't have a spine
time
to do
has
what's right.
expired. I now recognize Mr. Burchett from Tennessee.
Thank you, Chair Lady. I would remind members of both sides of the aisle that President Trump's approval rating is soaring, and last I checked, congressional approval is not, and I think that bears witness.
Madam Chair, I have a unanimous consent.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. This is just from a couple of hours ago. Trump pivots to distractions as polls show collapsing support for his agenda.
Without objection, so ordered.
The next one is Donald Trump's approval rating plunges in multiple polls.
Without objection, so
The next
ordered.
one, Donald Trump's approval rating. New polls show shakeup over Iran bombing.
Without objection, so ordered.
Marjorie Taylor Greene's reaction is hilarious. She's like, without objection, she hates this. This is torture for Marjorie.
And bombing.
Without objection, so ordered.
The next one, Trump's approval rating drops to term low amid Israel-Iran war.
Without objection, so ordered. I hope you're not reading the same thing from your phone, which it looked like. I now recognize.
clarification-
I now recognize Mr. Lynch from Massachusetts for 5 minutes.
I just want to clarify. I can give you the sources because
Mr. Lynch is recognized. Ms. Crockett, you're
Marjorie Taylor Greene is such a power tripper.
rudely interrupting Mr. Lynch's 5 minutes.
You're going to talk about rudely interrupting after your primitive display of smacking the gavel over and over. This was on the same day, by the way. She's wearing the same clothes as this and this.
That's not how it
Ms.
works,
Stansbury,
Madam-
you're not recognized.
Madam Chairwoman, that is not how.
Marjorie is absolutely insufferable, and she has no room to speak regarding interruptions. But I mean, we can go through polling from almost any single polling org right now, whether they lean right, they lean left, or they've been, historically accurate. So let's look at this one. Trump net approval hits new low in Economist/YouGov poll. President Trump's net approval rating has hit a new low in the latest Econ YouGov poll, taken as he moved to involve the U.S. in conflict in the Middle East. We haven't even gotten a thorough poll after he entered into the Middle Eastern conflict, but the poll, which was in the field when Trump announced that we had bombed 3 Iranian nuclear sites, so it was still being conducted, we haven't gotten a full poll after the fact, found Trump's job performance 14 percentage points underwater, with a 40% approval and 54% disapproval. He's getting closer and closer to that floor of maybe 34%, and we will continue to relentlessly fight until the truth is out there and his lies are pushed down and people understand what's happening. To continue, it's the lowest net approval point of Trump's second term, according to the pollster, and lower than his net approval during most of his first term. And I think what's notable here is that he's underwater on every single issue now. And basically in every single state, even deep red states, he's underwater in total, which shows a few things. First of all, he's incredibly unpopular, but the fact that Trump can be so unpopular and the Democrats still ended up losing shows that we are also equally as unpopular. So don't get too cocky when I say that Trump is unpopular, but he is. His approval rating is rapidly falling, again, across every single topic: immigration, the economy, deportations, foreign affairs, domestic affairs. He's passed no real bills, nothing through the Senate, nothing at all. And I'm going to leave it at that. If you appreciate these videos, make sure you drop a like and subscribe below. I love all of you. See you in the next video. We are building something beautiful here. Peace out.